I never knew my VL was a dolphin. What's that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, mate. Dolphin Commodore. Well, I was watching Mark's workshop video the other day, and he was doing some fuel stuff with his 1242K car, and it reminded me that I've got a Holley Blue pump installed in this car. Going back a long time, we were always running out of fuel in this. Just couldn't keep enough fuel up to the carby. So it was a suggestion to put a pump in, which I did. Now, I'm going to climb under here. Bit of a climb. Yeah. Yuck. So this pump's been doing nothing for a long time. You can see the wire's disconnected from it. But that doesn't look very good, does it? Ew. So I'm going to go and have a look in my cupboard, but I've got a feeling I'm going to need to go to a parts store and get some new fuel line and get rid of that pump entirely, which means this car's got to go a lot higher off the ground. So I've only got one jack stand up, and of course I've got the trolley jack in place as a backup. Well, I wish I had a little scissor lift. That would make this a lot easier, especially on my back. Lying on the concrete. Hey, at least I'm in the shed and I've got aircon, because she's a bit warm out today. Alright, I'm going digging through my parts and see what I've got. Got all sorts of stuff. That's not fuel line, and it's way too short anyway. That's brake line size. I did that when I bled the master cylinder. Oh, I forgot I had another carby in here. So under there is a fully rebuilt quadrajet, but it doesn't fit on the manifold, which was kind of the whole point of getting this one rebuilt, was so I could lose the 2-inch spacer that the Holley that's currently on there needs. And I can't put the strut tower brace back on, so I got that rebuilt, nearly $600 at Northeast Carburetor Service. He did a bloody great job. And over there, I forgot about that one. I bought this one brand new years ago. It was never big enough. It's a Holley 670 vacuum secondaries, and there's a fuel pump that I pulled out, which there was nothing wrong with it, worked fine, but it's just a standard fuel pump. So I put in a high volume fuel pump, as well as that Holley Blue electric pump, and I've had all sorts of fuel dramas, and this car has been sitting around for way too long. There's vacuum hoses and stuff up in there. There's also a brand new, never installed B&M ratchet shifter in there somewhere. It's so old that the box completely fell apart, and now it's all just sitting in that little tub. Right here. Got all sorts of VL stuff. Alright, I'm going to go for a dig through there. If not, I'm going to the parts store. And what's the time? I don't know, about 2 o'clock. Alright, let's get moving. Well, wouldn't you know it? Low pressure fuel hose. But what's that? Half a metre? I'll have a look, but I don't think that's going to be long enough. But I've got some. Alright, back to getting stuff done. Yeah, have a gander. See? B&M shift kit in there. Never ever been installed. I bought that, my gosh, back in Alice Springs, years before I moved to Darwin, and I moved to Darwin in 2012. The old ratchet style. Right, let's go get some more stuff done. Oh, that is really hard to film one-handed while laying upside down. Alright, that I can't get far enough away. Yeah, That'd probably work. I could probably make it work. Right, hang on. That can fall down. Oh, let me pull some stuff apart. It's not like it's running anyway because there's no bloody carby on it. Alright, into it. Well, I went to the parts store anyway to see if I could get a meter, and they don't have any. That's about half a meter. I reckon it's going to be close. Oh well. There is another parts store about 5k's away. It's 3:30. Let me get down there, rip all that stuff out. If this doesn't fit, well, that's going to be my last hope for today, because everywhere else is going to be much further away. Right. Alright. Well, that is really, really in there. That hose is knackered too. Well, it hasn't cracked or anything, but it's not in good shape. That's hurting my head, laying on concrete. So I got the old picnic blanket out that I use when I service the car, doing oil changes, and then I remembered I had this old sheet, which I've used for obviously painting something that was red, and I reckon that's going to make a great pillow, so I can get under there and get serious about getting this fuel line out. I reckon that's going to be long enough. I've had another gander. I reckon it'll go. Alright. Oh yeah, and I can't put the drip tray underneath where the line is, because that's right where the jack stand is. Anyway, safety first. Alright, actually, speaking of safety, I might go and put some safety glasses on. That's probably a good idea. Alright, let's do that. Alright, well, that's been a bit of a fight, but I've got new fuel line onto the tank. Actually, not a lot come out, so I'm glad I really only jacked this car up on one side, so all the fuel's going... Where's my arm? Down there! There's not a huge amount of fuel in there, maybe 10 litres or so. But yeah, got the old line off, and the fuel that's dripping out of here is actually quite nice. Yeah, it's clean. I was just looking at the bottom of that old Holley Blue pump. That looks nasty. So whatever's gone on in there has happened inside the pump by the looks of it. So maybe it's a good thing I'm not using it. Right, anyway, I have to keep pausing the music so I can film. And I'd rather listen to the tunes than my voice. Right, time to rip this rest of this old fuel line off and then get that pump out of there. Keep doing stuff. Let's go. Well, there you go. Holley Blue pump is out. And I only needed half of the fuel line that I had to reconnect it back up. So that's cool. I'll just nip these clamps up and call that job done. And then clean up the mess I just made, which isn't too bad really. Alright. If only I had a carby I could stick on there. Oh well. Let's keep getting stuff done. Alright. Ta-da, mate. Well, and just like that, she's back on the ground, and this heavy ass pump is out of there. Alright. Well, now I just need a bloody carby, and we can see what happens from there. But that's going to have to wait until I get the parts to fix the Holley, which can't even be ordered until January 5th, next Monday. Oh well, did something at least. Have a good one. Ta-ra, mate. Well, messy looking thing, but it's out. That's one less thing I have to do. I'm wondering what would happen if I threw that Holley 670 on here, sitting in the cupboard over there. Not today. It's nearly 6 PM. Oh well. Tomorrow's the weekend. Let's go. Ta-da, mate.